while I introduce the standards to you, I want you to be learning about how you can use these standards. So remember, they are a tool for you to grow professionally. So I don't want to just be focusing on content today. I want to focus on how you can walk away from today's webinar going, oh, I feel inspired to learn in this area or to learn in that area. So our second learning intention today is to learn how to use ATAPS for professional performance and growth and for reflection and goal setting. So I'm going to talk very briefly about how you could do this. On your worksheet, you have a question there that says list the 3 steps in the performance and professional growth cycle. So you can see those 3 circles there. The first one is reflection and goal setting. Then we have professional practice and learning, and then we have feedback and review. And this is a cycle that all professionals have or should have available to them. So to start with today, this is where we are focused. How am I doing? We're going to use ATAPS to reflect on our current practice. We're going to think about what we're confident with, what we're really good at, what our strengths are, and we're going to think about what areas could we improve in, or we'd like to learn a bit more in that area because we don't quite feel really confident in that. So that's where we're going to focus today. But just for your knowledge, the process would then continue and you would use what we do today from reflection and you would set some SMART goals. From there, you would identify and participate in professional learning. So it could be that you go and observe somebody that you've seen do it really well. It could be that you participate in some professional development, like the webinars that we offer at ATA, or it could be that you have a professional conversation with somebody who you know has the knowledge and you could learn from them. So there's 3 different ways of professional learning. After you've done that and you've tried it out in your own practice, you'll probably ask yourself, where do I go next? And that's where we have our annual review meeting with our line manager or our supervisor. And we start that process again. We look at our goals, we talk about what we've done really well, what we've met, what we still need to do. And then we start again. We reflect on our strengths and areas for growth. So you can see that it naturally flows around. Okay. Just before I jump into the standards, there is a table on the activity sheet, on the worksheet, that has 3 columns: a strength of mine, an area for growth, and I'm unsure, okay? Now, as I go through the standards, I'd like you to just plot in the number of that standard, whether you feel, oh, yep, that's a strength of mine, or, oh, yeah, that's one I could grow in. And if you're not really sure, maybe it's not something that's at your school yet, or it's not available to you yet, you could put it in unsure. So if you're just following along with a piece of paper, quickly 3 columns, and we're going to go through the standards, and you can just map, as I go through them, you can just map how you feel they fall in those categories. So to start with, we will look at the professional knowledge domain. So there are 2 standards in this domain and they are broken down. So standard 1 says that we know students and how they learn. Standard 1.1 says understand how students learn. And if you ask yourself, oh, do I actually know the process of what happens in the brain when we learn? Then you might be somewhere up at accomplished or proficient. But if you're a developing teaching assistant, you would probably be just developing an understanding of how students learn and the practical implications when supporting learning. Proficient, you're able to demonstrate an understanding of how students learn. At an accomplished level, you're able to support your colleagues or your developing and proficient colleagues to improve their understanding. And at the advanced level, you are able to collaborate with school teams and expand the understanding of current research on how students learn. So you can see that for standard 1.1, there is quite a scope of where you might fall. But for today, just plot in 1.1 on your area of strength or an area for growth, or if you're unsure, pop it in that column. Okay, let's go to standard 1.2. Engage with students to establish positive and respectful relationships. To learn, we have to have relationship. That's something that we know. So at a developing level, you're going to develop an understanding of a range of strategies to engage with students to establish those positive and respectful relations. It's just developing an understanding of what are some things I could do, what are some tools I could use when I'm interacting with students. At a proficient level, you're able to use a range of strategies to engage with students. And at the accomplished level, you are able to support your colleagues. At the advanced level, we have outlined that you are able to collaborate with school teams to improve student engagement and establish positive and respectful relationships. So you're taking quite a larger view on what's happening with student relationships and how much they're engaged in learning, and is there anything we could do to improve.